Think I go down to Venice Beach, bury my head down in the sand.
Do you think Venice becoming a special district would resolve a lot of it?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by a special district, but I think
Like Alvera Street?
I think the court rules that. I mean, the Constitution and the issues that are before the court would apply to any public forum. And so the only thing that would change, the only thing that could possibly change, I think, the types of issues that we've been dealing with in the court is if somehow this were no longer to be a park. And I think as long as it's a park and it is likely to remain a park, I think these are the types of issues that courts deal with and will be dealing with. I don't think changing the label on it would make these issues go away.
Please speak up. Isn't Alvera Street considered a park? It's a.
Yes, it is. It's a state.
And they have regulations down there. They have a council, and they have their own security people.
Private security.
Private, right? Yeah, they have the funds because they control it, the area in the special district, and it's wonderful for people going down there. You don't see any vending down there. You don't see anybody selling anything, even in the immediate area. I mean, on 2 or 3 streets away, they enforce that. You cannot set up selling anything. There's parking lots on Main Street. There's ordinance signs on the fences, and the area is protected. And since Venice Beach is historical in many respects, we thought that we could possibly have that too. They don't have vending down there unless they allow it in the middle of that street, and that's strictly enforced. Why? And that's a park as well.
It is.
So why can't we do that?
The question is, why can't they do what's going on in Venice? Because
Why would we want to do that?
Yeah, it's private there, and it's all the businesses are controlling it on Alvera Street.
yeah, I don't think
No, it's a council that controls it.
The
It's not the business.
constitutional issues are no different on Alvera Street than they are.
Absolutely, and it is a council, it's not the businesses that controls the residents and just the merchants and any of the people that want to be on the council.
Commission. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's actually a commission.
Stand
It's something we can review. We'll
We
research.
talk about it, but we never do it.
Yeah, and just
Okay,
to.
hang on. I'm
Just
sorry.
to what Barbara's saying, Mark, real quick question. Have you ever seen the proposal that her and Stephen Fisk have written called the Peacekeeper Project?
Yes.
Okay. As I see it looks like you probably aren't interested in that, but for someone that's worked down there for 17 years, I think that a pilot program of that, if the judge would be willing to do it, would make a lot of, not only the residents, but the vendors and the artists happy to at least try something different.
Yeah, I think that's the type of thing we can work out in our working group.
Okay.
We can't hear
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Brown.
I believe you mentioned that's something we could look at as we put together this working group. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have several questions. First, can you know the name of the litigator for the city in this lawsuit? You said you're not the litigator.
Yeah, the litigator at the time, a year ago, when this motion was heard in court, was Deputy City Attorney Fabio. He's actually moved on to a different part of the office. His supervisor is Lori Bittenberg, who couldn't join us today, but she'll be assigning another attorney in her group to move this forward.
Okay, you
I'm
mentioned,
doing the best I can.
you mentioned I zones and P zones with respect to this lawsuit. How do the black spaces fit in that? The 10 black spaces that were supposed to be first come, first served for First Amendment people?
They're in the P zone, and I don't think those are affected by this.
So it's still, all right. Then, since you also mentioned that they very clearly stated, and I read the ordinance, no commercial vending. So if there was no commercial vending allowed, why has all the commercial vending been going on since this ordinance was instituted, enacted? And second, why, when it was passed by City Council, did all the major news media in LA, who authorized them to broadcast that if you had goods or wares you wanted to sell, you had to go down and get a permit at the Rec and Parks over here on Windward, told you how to do it, how much it was going to cost, and exactly what, it was an invitation to all these commercial people to come to sell. And attendant on that, or connected to that, is just what is your definition of commercial that you're having so much trouble enforcing that?
First, I don't believe the word commercial is in the ordinance at all, as it is in the code section at all. Now, in fact, was one of the issues in the prior lawsuit is that the definition of what is commercial is vague. So actually, the ordinance is much more specific about what you can and what you can't do. And we've discussed that in the past. With regard to the media, obviously we don't control the media. Whatever the media said or whatever that caused, that's, you know, nothing.
Somebody told them to do that, and frankly, Mr. Brown, since that ordinance has been implemented, there has been more rampant commercial vending down there. And this is supposed to be a free expression zone. What it has become is an outlet for junk, trash, wholesale crap, pardon the word, that's brought downtown or God knows where, Rasta World, and it's brought out there and sold 99 cents. We got a 99-cent man, we got everything for $2 man, we got the whole panoply there. You never saw that before the 2008 ordinance. Is the city going to try to do anything to address this? And why didn't they send out a correction then when this was broadcast, that if you had goods or wares you wanted to sell, to come down to the Venice Boardwalk and do it?
Again, I'm just going to say that the ordinance is very specific about what can and can't be done. To the extent that people are trying to do something that's prohibited, there were enforcement mechanisms in place to deal with that. And as the attorney for the city, I would merely defend the ordinance that was adopted by the city council, and that's what we've been intending to do.
I think I saw a question over here, and I saw a hand go up over here. No? No hand? Actually, go ahead, and then we'll go to each one. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say something else. Well, two things. One, the two spaces, people are taking up more than one space. And I was wondering if anything could be done about that. I don't mind when there's a lot of empty spaces, but they're just like taking hold, and this is the way it is on the weekends or whatever, where when it's really crowded, where people are taking up more than one space.
That's a violation. You just need to contact us and come down.
I don't want to be the one to do it because I'm there to. I don't want to be the one to do it. You know, you'd love me to go around. I'm there to be supportive, and I don't want to.
That's great, but there's 210 spaces, and I'm not going to walk the boardwalk and try to figure out which one.
You can obviously see who's setting up more than one space. It's very obvious.
You don't have to give your name, just give us a call.
Okay. Another thing, I agree with Teresa in a certain, I do not think it's specific in the ordinance as to what is commercial and what isn't. It says inextricably intertwined. It can be anything. The belts are color therapy. Everything, anything can be out there. And what you're saying, I can't believe you believe your own words, Mark. Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't believe you believe your own words because it's so vague in this ordinance. There's so much commercialism going on there, and anybody can stick across on a factory, jewelry, and say that this is, and at least make them do that. But there we see factory stuff upon factory stuff upon factory stuff.
I want to answer that for you.